asking all week if what the Eagles did to the Patriots was the blueprint against New England. They didn't win. They have to have something else. You have to be able to do something else.
We're up to blueprints that can slow teams down.
Well, I guess so. Folks, it's the Monday Nighter. Hey, how are you? Jason Horowitz, NFL.com's Pat Kirwan. Glad to be with you. Of course, you know New England is perfect on the season, 11-0. They go to Baltimore 4-7. And, you know, Pat, we've talked about this before, but three things to probably beat New England. You've got to be able to score, which Baltimore can't do. You've got to be able to rush the quarterback with your down four linemen. Baltimore blitzes more than anybody else in the NFL. And you've got to be able to play man-on-man coverage. Baltimore's secondary has not been able to do that this year. It doesn't work.
Well, Baltimore's getting, Samari Rolls back now and feeling better, and so he's back there. So they can do a little bit in the coverage end, but the other two dimensions that you talked about, they can't. The Patriots go on the road and they score 41 to 42 points a game on the road. And they're playing a team that at home struggles to get 21 points. So this is lopsided already. It's lopsided in this game more than any other game on the schedule is lopsided in turnovers. There's a swing. This is almost impossible. You don't see this. A swing of 27 to the favor of New England. That means that Tom Brady is probably going to get 3 extra series starts in this game. And if he gets 1 extra series start, it's going to be a blowout. If he gets 3, you can go to bed at halftime.
Yeah, Tom Brady last week didn't necessarily have his best game. He had the most amount of incompletions he's had on the season. But you talk about turnovers. I mean, 28 giveaways for the Ravens in 11 games. Ridiculous. That's part of the reason they were good last year. They didn't give the football away. This defense, what is it about Baltimore's defense this year that they're missing?
Well,
because it's much worse than last year.
Well, they're getting older. They're a 3-man front defense. Where's the pass rush? Remember Adelius Thomas? He used to play for them, now plays for the Patriots. He's not there. And because of him on one side, if you're a 34 defense trying to get after the passer, you need 2 outside linebackers to do it like San Diego has, like Dallas is now developing. And they really haven't had that. They've had 1 outside linebacker, so the protection goes to Terrell Suggs, and he slows down. Then they got to start blitzing Bart Scott inside, and if it happens to be a toss play outside, all of a sudden Bart's out of position. So I think those things add up to a team that can't perform defensively, and the offense is not coming through for them either. They're not scoring enough points. There's a lot of pressure on the D. It's kind of how Chicago's was. Chicago's starting to fall apart on defense, and I think the same thing's happening in Baltimore. The offense can't support them.
Chicago not necessarily as old as Baltimore because some of their young guys have been hurt, but that's a different situation. All right, for Baltimore offensively here, the Patriots got attacked by Philadelphia. A.J. Feely made the right read.
Sure.
Whether it's Steve McNair, whether it's Kyle Bowler, I guess the question here is because
can you use some of the things?
Can you use anything?
Yeah. Well, first off, the things that are in principle were available that the Eagles exposed were the following: inside routes, short seam routes, attacking the safeties. The safeties seem to be playing off enough that if you got rid of the ball fast, as the receivers, a tight end or a slot back, were going up about 8-9 yards, they were hitting it consistently in there. So I'm looking for Baltimore to try to do the same thing. Belichick will not sit around and let that happen again. He'll have some tricks available to them. Now, he lost Roosevelt Colvin to IR, quickly re-signed Chad Brown. But those guys are more in the force unit, not in the coverage unit. The one trick I haven't seen from Bill this year that I used to see all the time is the 3-safety package. What a nice time to bring that out. He'd come out with 3 safeties. You would be unable to identify who the strong safety was, but it does clog up those inside seam routes.
The one problem for New England is that their linebackers are old, and if you can get one-on-one advantage with speed like Philadelphia had with Brian Westbrook last week, that may be something to take advantage of. Baltimore doesn't have that speed out of the backfield. Willis McGahee.
No, they don't set up as a matchup very well.
It's not a very good matchup. That's why you call it the biggest mismatch. Let's throw everything into the computer and see how big of a mismatch it is. The AccuScore prediction, it's that big, 94%. Patriots on the computer won, but it gives the Ravens a little bit of hope, 5%. Pat, what's the final score?
Yeah, I think we should be careful for the rest of the year, and I think the great lesson from the Eagles was don't get hung up on these point spreads and how everyone's going to run them over. These are NFL players with a lot of pride. I've talked to a couple of the Raven players, Bart Scott this week. They're not going to surrender. They're not going to lay down and let the Patriots run them over. They're going to fight, and they're going to play hard. So don't get involved in thinking these games are all supposed to be blowouts. The Patriots will be happy to win. There's a lot of pressure mounting now for the undefeated season, whether they want to acknowledge it or not. It's a win. It's going to be a win for the Patriots, but I don't look at it as a blowout.
These teams have met 3 times since they moved to Baltimore. The Patriots have won all 3, and in the last 2, the Ravens have scored just combined 6 points. So that's not very pretty. It's the Monday Nighter. It starts at 8:30 p.m. For more on this game and to see if the Patriots can get to 12-0 and remain undefeated in that track to get to 16-0, be sure to read everything on CBSSports.com. Watch everything else on the CBS Audience Network. For Pat Kirwan, I'm Jason Horowitz.
Take care.